Have you ever wondered why the ancient Egyptians went to such extraordinary lengths to preserve their dead? I mean, we're talking about carefully removing organs, drying bodies for 70 days, wrapping them like burritos, and sealing them in tombs, filled with treasures, all thousands of years ago. Welcome to the Story Haven, where the past isn't just history, it's a mystery waiting to be unwrapped. Today we're diving deep, really deep, into the tombs of ancient Egypt to uncover the science behind their mummification techniques. Spoiler, they may have been onto something thousands of years before modern embalming. Let's rewind the clock, say 5,000 years. Ancient Egypt wasn't just a land of pyramids and pharaohs. It was a civilization obsessed with the afterlife. They believed death wasn't the end, it was just a transition. But here's the thing. To make that transition, your body had to be intact. Enter mummification, the ultimate ancient insurance policy for your soul. The god Anubis, he's the jackal-headed one, was believed to oversee embalming. So every time embalmers worked on a mummy, they were literally channeling divine energy. The first mummies? They weren't man-made. Natural preservation in Egypt's hot, dry sand preserved bodies accidentally. It was Mother Nature who did the first embalming. But soon Egyptians thought, what if we could recreate that? On purpose. And so began over 2,000 years of perfecting one of the most advanced preservation processes in ancient history. The process started with purification. The body was washed, usually with palm wine and Nile water. Think of it like a sacred spa day. But for the dead. Why palm wine? It had antimicrobial properties. Yep, the ancient Egyptians didn't know the word bacteria, but they sure knew how to fight it. Next came one of the most iconic and gruesome parts, brain removal. They used a hook inserted through the nose to liquefy and remove the brain. No kidding. Egyptians believed the brain wasn't important. The heart was where the soul, intellect, and emotions lived. Ironically, they threw out the brain and carefully preserved the heart most of the time. Then came the organs. Liver, lungs, stomach, and intestines, all removed and placed in canopic jars, each protected by one of Horus's 4 sons. The heart? Usually kept in the body, unless the person was considered sinful. In that case, it might be tossed. Imagine being denied your heart for eternity. Brutal. The real MVP here? Natron, a naturally occurring salt found in Egyptian deserts. It's a mix of sodium carbonate and sodium bicarbonate, essentially baking soda on steroids. This was packed around and inside the body for 40 to 70 days. It drew out all moisture, creating an environment too harsh for bacteria to survive. That's the secret to why many Egyptian mummies still exist today. Scientific sidebar. Mummification wasn't just spiritual, it was science. The natron acted as a desiccant, stopping decay by removing water. Bacteria can't party without moisture. Once dry, the body was rubbed with oils and resins, both to keep the skin supple and as antibacterial agents. Then came the wrapping. Layers upon layers of linen strips, each with spells and prayers. The most elaborate wrappings could take 15 days, and they might include amulets, jewelry, even secret messages to the gods. So how do we know all this? Turns out modern science has been unwrapping these ancient secrets. CT scans and DNA tests. Researchers have used CT scans to digitally unwrap mummies without damaging them. We can now see bones, diseases, even brain fragments left behind. In 2021, scientists even recreated the voice of a 3,000-year-old priest named Nesyamun by scanning his vocal tract and synthesizing a vowel. So yeah, we've literally heard a mummy speak. Scientific note. Studies have confirmed how effective natron is. In lab simulations, natron preserved tissues almost identically to actual ancient mummies. Mummification wasn't just a ritual, it was identity. Kings, priests, even animals like cats and crocodiles were mummified. It was how you got remembered. Over 70 million animals were mummified in ancient Egypt. Yep, ancient Egyptians were probably the first civilization with pet cemeteries. Today, Egyptian mummies continue to teach us. They've advanced forensic science, anthropology, and even modern medicine. And perhaps most importantly, they remind us how deeply people have always cared about memory, legacy, and life after death. So, what do we take from all this? Mummification was never just about death. It was about life, about preserving who someone was for all eternity. And while modern science uses refrigeration, chemicals, and cryogenics, the ancient Egyptians used sand, salt, and a whole lot of spiritual belief. It's fascinating that one of the world's oldest civilizations may have also given us the earliest fusion of science and spirituality. Final thought. The next time you hear the word mummy, remember, it's not just a Halloween monster.